So, how does someone's fortune just shrink by billions of dollars in only a matter of weeks? We're about to dive into that, and it all comes down to one absolutely massive $30 billion bet on the future of artificial intelligence.
Okay, so get this number in your head, $235.2 billion. As of late October 2025, that was Mark Zuckerberg's estimated net worth. I mean, it's just an astronomical amount of money. But here's the crazy part.
That number? That's actually after he lost a fortune. Yeah, you heard that right. This is what he's worth after his wealth took a massive, multi-billion-dollar hit.
And check this out. This really shows you what we're talking about. Just a few weeks earlier, in early October, Forbes had him at $251 billion. That's a difference of nearly $16 billion in less than a month. Wow! So you got to be asking, right? What on earth could cause a drop like that and so fast? Well, the answer is a lot more interesting than you might think.
To really get this, we have to start with the immediate cause, and it's a story that really begins and ends with the stock market.
This right here, this is the trigger, a drop of 11%. Now, 11% on its own might not sound like a whole lot, right? But when you're talking about a company the size of Meta, trust me, an 11% drop is like a financial earthquake. So the direct reason his personal fortune took that nosedive was a big double-digit drop in the stock price of his company, Meta. His wealth is just completely and totally linked to how the company performs on the market.
Here's exactly how it all went down, step by step. First, Meta comes out and announces this huge new financial plan. Second, the investors, well, they react. They start selling off shares, and boom, the stock price tanks by 11%. And the final domino to fall? Because Zuckerberg owns so much of the company, the value of his personal shares just plummeted.
But that stock drop didn't just happen in a vacuum. We need to look at the real reason why investors got so spooked. And it all boils down to one single gigantic bet.
$30 billion. This is the number at the absolute heart of this entire story. This is the figure that made Wall Street take a step back and recalibrate.
And what is all that money for? It's the war chest. It's what Meta is building to go all in on artificial intelligence. This isn't just some side project. This is them basically shouting from the rooftops that they intend to be a dominant force in the future of AI, and they're willing to borrow a fortune to make it a reality.
The way they're raising this cash is through something called a debt issuance. Sounds complicated, but it's pretty simple, really. Meta is essentially taking out a massive loan. But instead of going to a bank, it's selling bonds to big investors. It gets all the cash now and promises to pay it all back, plus interest, down the road. It's a common strategy, but the sheer size of this one is what really raised some eyebrows.
Okay, so let's connect all the dots here between Meta's huge AI ambitions and Mark Zuckerberg's personal wealth.
You see, Mark Zuckerberg's wealth isn't just a pile of cash in a bank account. Nope. The vast majority of it is tied up in his ownership stake in Meta. We're talking about 13% of the entire company. So when the value of the company changes, his net worth changes right along with it. That 13% slice of the pie was directly affected by that 11% stock drop.
So, to sum it all up, Meta's $30 billion bet on AI spooked investors, which caused an 11% drop in the stock. And because Zuckerberg owns about 13% of Meta, his personal fortune took that massive hit. What we're really seeing is the market's immediate and, let's be honest, somewhat nervous reaction to a huge long-term bet on the future of technology.
Which leaves us with the ultimate question, doesn't it? Is Meta taking on all this massive debt for a risky gamble that might not pay off? Or is this simply the necessary, eye-watering price a company has to pay today to build and to own a piece of the future?